Lil Yachty just did something incredibly bold. Like, he looked into his crystal ball, gazed into the future of Grammy Music Awards, and declared with the confidence of someone who definitely knows something we don't, Kendrick Lamar's GNX is winning Album of the Year at the Grammys. Not might win, not has a good chance, will win. And now the internet is having a full-blown meltdown about whether he's a prophet or just really confident in his music opinions. Buckle up, because this prediction just opened up a whole can of worms that nobody expected.
Welcome to Celebrity Rap Life, where the spotlight never fades. Comebacks are built from chaos, and every headline tells a deeper story. Like, subscribe, and stay locked in.
Lil Yachty is in an interview casually discussing the upcoming Grammy Awards like he's discussing what to have for lunch. The conversation turns to Album of the Year predictions, and someone throws out a curveball. Bad Bunny's latest album is sitting at a solid 40% chance, according to some predictions. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Yachty admits something that would get most people dragged on Twitter. He hasn't even heard the Bad Bunny album, like at all. 0 listens, hasn't pressed play once. But does that stop him from making his prediction? Absolutely not. I haven't heard it, but I would go with Kendrick, Yachty says, with the kind of certainty that makes you wonder if he's seen the voting ballots already, or if he just trusts Kendrick that much. Let's talk about what we're dealing with here. Kendrick Lamar's GNX isn't just another album, it's a cultural statement. After his viral Super Bowl halftime show performance that had the entire internet losing its mind, Kendrick has been on an absolute tear through the music industry. GNX came out of nowhere, hit different, and immediately started conversations about artistic integrity, lyrical genius, and whether Kendrick is currently operating on a level that most artists can't even comprehend. On the other hand, you've got Bad Bunny, the Puerto Rican superstar who's been dominating Latin music and crossing over into mainstream success like it's nothing. His album, the one with the chairs, yes, that visual was iconic, has been making serious waves globally. So when Yachty picks Kendrick without even giving Bad Bunny's album a chance, that's not just a prediction, that's a statement. And oh boy, did Puerto Rico have thoughts about this. The moment Yachty admitted he hadn't heard Bad Bunny's album, you could practically hear the collective gasp from every Puerto Rican music fan watching. The interviewer even points out, the PR people are looking upset. And honestly, fair. Imagine working on an album that's been breaking records, representing your culture on a global stage, getting Grammy nominations, and then some rapper who hasn't even listened to it casually dismisses it in favor of the competition. The audacity is kind of impressive, actually. The internet, being the internet, immediately picked sides. Team Bad Bunny showed up in the comments ready to defend their king. Team Kendrick started posting paragraphs about lyrical complexity and artistic merit, and everyone else just grabbed popcorn and watched the chaos unfold. But here's what's actually suspicious about this whole situation. Why is Yachty so confident? Think about it. The man hasn't heard one of the major competing albums. He admits this freely, on camera, knowing it'll probably upset people. And yet he still doubles down on Kendrick winning? That's not normal prediction behavior. That's the energy of someone who either knows something or has such unwavering faith in Kendrick's talent that he doesn't need to hear the competition. Now, before we put on our tinfoil hats and start conspiracy theorizing, let's be clear, Yachty probably doesn't have insider Grammy information. The voting process is secret, and Album of the Year decisions involve tons of factors beyond just musical quality. But what if, and hear me out here you, what if Yachty's confidence comes from understanding something deeper about how the Grammys work? What if he's read the room better than the rest of us? Okay, time out. If you're sitting there thinking, wait, can you actually predict Grammy winners just by vibes? Then you need to subscribe right now, because Grammy season is pure chaos. And when the actual winners get announced, you're gonna want to come back to this video and see if Yachty was right. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me who you think deserves Album of the Year. Let's see if we can collectively predict this thing. Here's what makes this prediction genuinely interesting beyond just the drama. It represents a larger conversation about how we evaluate music in 2026. Bad Bunny represents global music breaking into mainstream American awards. His success is part of a larger movement where Latin artists aren't just getting Latin Grammy categories, they're competing for the top prizes against everyone else. That's huge. That's historic. Kendrick represents artistic excellence and cultural commentary through hip-hop. He's the guy who makes albums that get taught in college courses while simultaneously going viral on TikTok. His work transcends just being good music. It becomes part of the cultural conversation. So when Yachty picks Kendrick, he's not just picking an album, he's picking what he thinks the Grammys will value more: global mainstream success or artistic cultural impact. Now, here's the twist nobody's talking about. What if they're both wrong? What if neither Kendrick nor Bad Bunny wins? The Grammys have a long history of surprising everyone. Remember when Macklemore beat Kendrick for Best Rap Album back in 2014? Or when Beck beat Beyoncé for Album of the Year in 2015? The Grammys have proven time and time again that they will absolutely make the choice nobody expects. There are other nominees in this race. There are albums that haven't even been discussed yet in this conversation. The Recording Academy has approximately 13,000 voting members, and they don't all think the same way. So while everyone's debating Kendrick versus Bad Bunny, there's a real possibility that someone else entirely walks away with the trophy. And wouldn't that just be the most Grammy thing ever? There's also this random but kind of beautiful moment in the interview where the conversation pivots to fatherhood. Yachty mentions how being a parent makes life feel like it's speeding up, which is such a real observation that it almost makes you forget they were just talking about Grammy predictions. It's a reminder that these artists aren't just music-making machines or prediction algorithms. They're people living real lives, having kids, watching time fly by, and still finding time to have opinions about award shows. The interviewer mentions his kid is half Puerto Rican, which adds this extra layer of irony to the whole "I haven't heard the Bad Bunny album" thing. Imagine having to explain to your Puerto Rican family that you were in the room when Lil Yachty dismissed Bad Bunny's Grammy chances without even listening to the album. Let's talk about what's actually at stake here, beyond just bragging rights and internet arguments. For Kendrick, winning Album of the Year would be another massive validation of his artistic vision. It would cement his place as one of the defining artists of this generation. It would prove that taking risks and pushing boundaries pays off. For Bad Bunny, winning would be a breakthrough moment for Latin music at the Grammys. It would signal that the Recording Academy is finally recognizing global music on equal footing with American artists. It would open doors for future artists who make music primarily in Spanish. And for Lil Yachty, well, if he's right, he gets to say "I told you so" to the entire internet. If he's wrong, he becomes a meme. High stakes either way. Here's the honest truth that nobody wants to admit. Predicting the Grammys is basically impossible. The voting process involves thousands of industry professionals with different tastes, different priorities, and different ideas about what makes an album Album of the Year worthy. Some vote based on commercial success, some vote based on artistic merit, some vote for their friends, some vote for whoever made the album they personally listened to most that year. It's not a science. It's not even a reliable art form. It's organized chaos with expensive suits and live performances. So when Yachty confidently says Kendrick will win, he's not necessarily wrong, but he's also not necessarily right. He's just a guy with an opinion and enough confidence to state it publicly. And now, we wait. The Grammy Awards will happen, the envelope will be opened, a name will be called, and in that moment, Lil Yachty will look like a genius or like someone who probably should have listened to Bad Bunny's album first. The internet will either celebrate his prediction or roast him mercilessly. There will be tweets, there will be reaction videos, there will be think pieces about what the win means for music and culture. But right now, in this moment, it's all just speculation. It's all just noise, as Yachty himself might say. And that suspense, that unknown, that's kind of the whole point of award season. Lil Yachty threw down a prediction without doing his homework, and now we're all stuck wondering if confidence alone can predict the future. Will Kendrick's GNX take home Album of the Year? Will Bad Bunny pull off an upset? Will someone else entirely shock everyone? If you want to be here when we find out who was right, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Drop a comment with your prediction: Kendrick, Bad Bunny, or complete chaos. And most importantly, if you haven't listened to both albums yet, maybe do that before making your prediction. Unlike Yachty, we believe in doing the research. The Grammys are coming, the predictions are flying, and somewhere Lil Yachty is sitting back fully confident in his choice, wondering what all the fuss is about. We'll see who gets the last laugh. See you in the next one.